So sometimes, the order of the code matters here, and you need to set this up after the plots. Okay, that's all. So now again, if you put it here, okay, after the plots, then it's going to work in the sense of what this code, what it shows is a split of 30 different dates. Now, I'm doing this in order for a reason because obviously this is a little better, but you cannot in fact see them. So one thing you can try to do is rotate the dates. This is kind of cool. And so the code for that, this is a fun one, by the way. I think you can really have some fun with this. So if we try PLT, so this is in the matplotlib library, you can also get the access to xticks like this, xticks, and then you can say rotation equals, and I can say like 90, that's going to rotate them 90 degrees. Okay, so if I try that, look at that, you can actually see them. And furthermore, it's showing every 30 days, which is kind of cool. So it's almost like once a month. How about that? Pretty neat, huh? Like I wanted to check to see too, like if I set the figure here in advance, we'll do it for each of the plots. There's a way you can do it, but let's just check plt.figure. I guess it's all in the same graph, so it shows. So we could say fig size equals, maybe I need more horizontal, so maybe like 10 and 5 on my computer. Fig size is not defined. Maybe an equal there. Yeah, and you can see now it actually looks better, right? Like the dates are actually somewhat readable, right? So again, how do I do that? I set the figure size here. I just picked 10 and 5. Um, for dates, I mean, use what you can, right? I could try like even like 12 and do I have any vertical room? I'll keep it. So you guys can see it on maybe 12 and 5, right? Yeah, look at that now. See, now the dates are more legible because they're spread apart even more. Now, the rotation too, okay, we see 90. You can angle it a little bit, right? Like what about have fun with it. Try like 75 here, see what it looks like. See it because it's slanting towards you, you can read it more. You can say, hey, I could go a little more. Like, let me go to 60. And I would encourage you to play around with that number until you find one that works well for you. I'm going with 45. I like, symmetry, right? I mean, I don't know if that's better. Yeah, I think, aesthetically, you just kind of pick something that you think looks better. Um, okay, so this basically accomplishes what we wanted, which is it shows the graph of particular counties. It gives us the um, percentage of people who have had COVID, which is actually a powerful piece of information, right? I think if doing any publishing of this type of information, you want to say where you got the population from, you know. So there's really not a lot else. You can always try it, like again, to follow the lines. We can try Seaborn. So let's try that. Um, I can say like import Seaborn as SNS, and then I do not that. I can say SNS.set that, but there are different Seaborn backgrounds. Um, this one is one of my favorites in general. It's not necessarily my favorite for a time series, but because these numbers are meaningful, I do want to see the grid. You can also do that with Matplotlib, right? I think the vertical bars we don't really need here, but like you can look at different, like you can see here's 8%, and you can see that Alameda and San Francisco are under 8%, right? For instance, whereas LA is over 14%. Okay. So this is getting stronger. When you set it, they're different grids. We can always look them up later. What else do we want? I I think I I don't know that in this lesson I want to go into the deep end about how to like little changes I would make to kind of make this look professional. I may do that the next one. For instance, it's kind of nicer to say just 14 and have these be percentage, even like 14%, right? I think we definitely want a title, right? So like plt.title, um, percentage of COVID cases. Now it's since inception, okay? By county. And that's fairly accurate. I just like to run it and always see it up there. Yeah, I don't know if we need the by county. I think that might be clear. Or you could put in parentheses maybe like California counties. That way people, you might have, like that's not the city of Los Angeles or the city of San Francisco. Although, like in San Francisco, it's a little more clear. But like, in LA, it's less clear. Like where does the city begin and compared to the county? Okay, so, again, specific things I want to look up are maybe changing these numbers, getting rid of the vertical bars, maybe keeping the background light. And the other thing is we had a function before, okay? And what our function did is the function showed kind of in the most recent days because it's nice to highlight in the graph, right? Like the last 60 days and so on. So that's yet another piece that we can look at. If it says percentage or two, I want it to be clear, like 0.14 is not like, it's not actually the percentage would be 14. So, because 0.14 is different, there's an easy way to do that, of course, in math, you just multiply by 100. And so this is the y-axis, this is the output, which in fact is this number. So this is that number, and so if I just do all of these times 100, okay, 3 times 100s. Well, now it should change those to the other numbers. And then the title is more clear. It says percentage 14%, right? You're not seeing the percent label there, but again, you read that title, that is now an accurate representation of it. Okay. There you go. I just want to check SNS white grid. So I want to see. SNS.set style. Yeah, just put white grid in parentheses quotes. So let's see how that looks. Okay, I guess that's not quite right. Let me look again. Dot set style underscore style white grid. I mean, is that better? Not really. Like, it's okay. I don't like the vertical bars. And if you don't want, see, I like the horizontal ones because they're telling us, right? It's hard to follow, like if you don't have those bars, like where these go. And so, we'll do the tweaks next time.